Getting nerds, we're playing Victoria 3. This is a new session now, so I'm gonna be setting up some things and figuring out what I'm doing. I think to get started with, we're just gonna let ourselves accumulate a little bit of a gold reserve. Because I want to go to a war. We're gonna do a war, and here's how we're gonna do it. This little bit of Bavaria is Rhineland, that's this state. And this is North Rhine, and that's held by Prussia. Bavaria, which is this country here, has defensive pacts with Prussia and Saxe-Weimar and Saxony, this country here. But Prussia has defensive pacts with Bavaria, the Ottoman Empire, Saxe-Weimar, and Württemberg, and it's also got an alliance with Saxony. Let me see if Bavaria has an alliance before I go too wild here. They don't. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to grab this bit from, sorry, I'm just checking if Hesse is part of it, but no. This part of Rhineland from Bavaria, and hopefully that will bring Prussia in, and then I can grab North Rhine from Prussia at the same time. And both of these are going to be fairly affordable from an infamy perspective, because these are both return state claims. So yeah, and that'll take us a good set of the way towards achieving France's quote-unquote natural borders. I've currently got an alliance with Austria, which would also be very nice. Now I've got defensive pacts with Russia and Sardinia, Piedmont, which are not going to come into effect here. So I think that's going to be what I'm going to do. Originally my plan was to go for Tunis. Oh, Tunis is all alone. It's just got a defensive pact with Tripolitania. Oh, because it's 57 now, and the Ottoman Empire has failed to become recognized? Yes, they failed to stay recognized. Sad for them, but it is what it is. So, that's going to be a process. Let me go ahead and build up some... How much construction capacity? We're currently draining the investment pool. We've got 150k in construction capacity. I think one moderate term goal is I want to be harvesting most of my own dyes. Because right now we're buying 600 dyes worth of dyes. And we can definitely do better than that. So, let's see. Got a lot of places we can build up. This is a good look. Come on. Come on now. Five plantations there. 5 plantations there. 5 plantations there. 10 plantations here. Let me see, that's 25 dye plantations. We currently got 17, so that's going to increase it by about 600, and that should pretty much sort out our dyes needs for the medium term. And we are actually still making money. This level, I think, we're on moderate taxes. Well, that's just great. That's just fine. I'm very pleased with that outcome. So probably what I'll do is That's actually not that fast at all. Let me look at my trade routes for dyes. Oh yeah, I got a bunch, huh? So, what I'll probably do is, as I get these dye plantations finished out, I'll close out some of these trade routes, or the least productive ones. So like this one from Portugal, and this one from the Netherlands, I can live without. Because these are not very profitable at all per unit, compared to these ones from Great Qing, Mexico, and Benin. Nor are these ones particularly large in terms of amount. Like the one from Benin is not very large, but it's very productive, so I want to keep that one. So yeah, that's, I think, going to be my plan. And we'll see how that goes. These things are pretty fast to build. We're having stirring radicalism again. I'm going to say it could happen anywhere. This is going to put that in Champagne. Gosh, we've got such a large base of radicals. I'm very unhappy. But it is what it is. Once the radical constitution, how long does that last? Huh. Doesn't say anything about how long this goes for. And it's not listed in here. There's no list of political conditions going on over here somewhere. No? Curious. Alright, so once this one gets finished, how many of these do we have in the pot? We've got 3 built right now. So yeah, so as you can see, the ones from the Netherlands and Portugal are have fallen off in productivity. So I'll go ahead and cancel one of them. So this is the tricky part with trade, is you got to be careful and make sure that you're not putting yourself into a situation where you've got a bunch of unproductive trade routes. Meanwhile, let's look at our market and see if there's anything we can sell abroad. It'd be good to sell. We've got oil. No one's buying oil right now, sadly. Which is sad, but it is what it is. Actually got really good furniture we can export. Oh, look at all these markets. Mmm, tasty, tasty profit. Let's go with Russia. And meanwhile, let's scrap this other Dutch trade route for dyes, since that's going to continue to be less productive as our amount of internally produced dyes increases. We've got an election happening. Have our parties realigned? They haven't. This is curious. Alright, so let's look at the new party momentum. Both of them are pretty high now. Both of them have negative momentum. Interesting. The petite bourgeoisie have joined the party of order. Tragically. That does make me very sad, but I guess it just kind of is what it is. That's how it's going to go. So, let's look at dyes. Dyes are still pretty scarce, but we do have... we're producing much more of our own dyes now from our dye plantations. I'm getting far less of them from these trade routes. Both of these trade routes are bringing in so much. It's a shame, because this one's the one that's actually the most productive for us. But I think we're going to have to wait for a bit before we cut the one with China, because we've got so much dye coming in. The grand plan pays off. Jean-François Mocquard, the methodical leader of the petite bourgeoisie, has been studiously working behind the scenes for some time now, and at last all his work has paid off for petite bourgeoisie and for France. The man is so pleased with the tax that it looks like he's about to burst into flames of contained emotion. How charming. Professionally speaking, though, not the most clever move. Yes, just as planned. The petite bourgeoisie shall reap the rewards, big ol' momentum boost for the party of order, or France shall reap the rewards, reduced loan interest rate and increased gold reserve limit. I mean, I don't love the party of order. If I put them in power, that's a significant reduction in legitimacy, so I don't want to make them stronger. So we'll get the reserve limit. That's probably going to matter later when we're, in wars and stuff. I'll probably wait till after the election to go to war. Continuing to build these up. Yeah. There we go. Another revolutionary for our time. That should move the petite bourgeoisie, so I'm going to go with it must be heard. Move? Move to the other party? Move to the other party? Dang it. Go to the other party. That's the party that wants you. Go to the other party. I guess it's better. The petit bourgeoisie are going to give me a big ideology penalty either way. Still holding here at 485. These trade routes are still pretty profitable. Although the one with Benin has gone down in profit significantly, even as it's gone up in volume to 67.5. That's quite curious. We sure are selling a lot of furniture abroad, but we could still sell more. Not much more, though. Gosh. I'm not going to go for a bunch of tiny trade routes right this minute. Stirring radicalism. Franche-Comté. See, the springtime of the People's Event is really rough, and I don't want to get rid of monarchy, because this is a monarchist France run. I think there should be some kind of accounting for this whole situation, but it does rather make me sad. Alright, so dyes have fallen significantly as we're continuing to produce our own. So that means... Okay, the trade route with China has become unproductive. So this is going to be the big one. We're going to cut this. That's going to shoot dyes up in price. As you can see, they're now the most expensive thing in the market. There's our election. We're still in 64, which is a contested government, which isn't great, but it's perfectly serviceable. And the House of Bonaparte is continuing to cement its power. We're at 54 out of 120, which is 45%. It's a slow process. I'm not going to do a government reform. Can I... Is there a way I can get a new political party going on in here? It's labor movement. I need to do labor movement and then socialism to get new parties. Ugh. You know how careful one needs to be about that kind of thing. Oh, we're working on steel frame buildings. I need to make sure that I can tolerate a big increase in the price of glass, and this will be a huge amount of glass, a bunch of explosives and tools, and a bunch of steel. So I should prepare for that. Definitely need to build up more steel production capacity. In terms of glass, yeah, definitely need more of that. So, how are we with explosives? We'll probably be fine. We'll need to adjust, but we'll be fine. Cool. Continuing to increase the price of dyes. Both of these routes are still productive. Very good. I think we're going to throw down a batch of steel mills somewhere. Gosh, how much unemployment have I got? 684K. All play and no work. General Georges de Langle de Carré's personal habits are starting to get in the way of his role as general. Georges de Langle de Carré smiles at the officer exultantly, avidly. His eyes have obviously seen better days. Carefully recumbent in his leather armchair, his voice comes out as rubbery as the material. It's a stressful job, you know. No need to make it even more stressful. You're at the Occitania HQ, Honorable Bandit Opium Addict. You're fired. We'll get someone better. Oh, that's Ryan HQ. Occitania HQ. Who's my current Occitania HQ? Okay, come on, guys. Let's dial it back. France, Occitania. Oh. Let me see. Bonapartist. Experienced offensive planner. Brave. Direct. You're getting promoted. Alright, well that sorted that out. And then we got one more at Rhine. We got someone at the Rhine HQ already, right? Italy HQ, France HQ, North Africa HQ, Occitania. We don't. Alright, so who can we pull in? Patrice McMahon, he's a legitimist. Experienced defensive planner, but also reckless. Reckless is really bad. I almost never go for characters who are reckless. Look at those. Look at those terrible traits. Rural folk legitimist. Open terrain commander, that's not bad. Imperious. Interesting. And then got this guy who's a hedonist. Extra supply consumption, that's not necessarily a problem. Traditionalist commander. You're a Bonapartist. Yeah, it's going to be you. Cool. Got it sorted out. Continuing to build up our die production capacity. So, where have we got unemployment? Here. And in addition to building those, I'm going to build a couple of railways. Just to make sure that there's enough infrastructure to sustain all the other building I'm going to be doing. There's a smarter way to do this. Or at least an easier way to do it, which is to hold Alt and hammer this button until that happens. Continuing to monitor the die situation. Continuing to grow our productive capacity. That's very good. I am going to need a little bit more bureaucracy. Somehow my bureaucratic situation has continued to be really rough. Ahaggar uprising. That should employ all those places. We are not going to leave Brittany alone. We're going to build bureaucracy there. Does Brittany have the infrastructure capacity? It does. Very good. Ahaggar is a very small country. We'll have Cyprian IK handle it. He's charismatic and an experienced defensive strategist. In this case, he'll be going on the offense, but I'm sure it won't be a problem. Just checking for more places I can potentially colonize. No, that's a severe malaria area. Gotta grab some of this from Great Britain eventually, because they're outracing me to the interior here. And that's really a problem. I'm pretty sad about that. Additional areas I can colonize? Not really. Except for Germany. I'm definitely going to be colonizing Germany. But that's a whole other kettle of fish. Prussia. You're in the middle of a war right now. Yeah, okay. I think it's time to fight. So. On the other hand, now is a great time to get involved in this situation. Yeah, because you're in the middle of the Turkish peasant revolt. But the Turkish peasant revolt is losing badly and mostly occupied, so I shouldn't rely on that. I'm just going to go for this bit of Bavaria. Is our relations good? Oh, I'm in the middle of another diplomatic play. That's what's going on. I was going to say, why can't I get started with it? It's because I'm in the middle of another diplomatic play. Well, that's a shame. Now would have been a good time, but I wasn't thinking about it and didn't get the jump on it, so go back up to speed 4 here, try to get this knocked out as soon as possible. In fact, I'm going to grab another one of my small armies and pop that over there just to make sure that if the fronts get wonky, we'll be fine and we'll be in a situation where we don't need to worry about it. Any other changes I want to make to the laws? I know obviously the people desire presidential republic very badly, and I'm tempted to do it just to get the freaking Springtime of the People's event done, but I'm not gonna. Of course, in order to complete a reactionary victory, I need to get all of these people nobody being a radical in the government. How old are you? You're 33, so you're going to be radicals for some time. What about you? You're 49. Oh, you're Mathieu de la Drôme. I feel like I've heard a lot about you. You've been in a lot of events. The trade unions. You know what? Go ahead. The trade unions can be radical. They're marginalized. 1.7%. I'm not worried about it. Cool. So this war is proceeding apace. The Ottoman Imperial War has sorted itself out. Do you have debt? 1.32 million. Increasing every week. That's good for me. And there's another war happening here. So what are you trying to do? What is this for? You want treaty ports and to conquer territory. Well, if I knew I could get what I wanted, I would go that way, but I don't... Ooh, a movement to enact homesteading, you say? Russia sides with Denmark. Everyone's equal? Heck yes. I'll do this. God, anything to get those 3.74 million loyalists. TBH. Also, because I'm currently have the rural folk in government, that'll make it easier for me. See, I don't want to get in on this because I want Prussia to be... Good job, Spain. I had an empty front. See, these fronts, they get all silly. Because I don't want to be in a truce with Prussia when I want to try to get into a war with Prussia. So I'm going to wait on that. Spain, are you just messing with the Prussians right now? Another? Frick. Alright. We're going to get another one of our armies. Otherwise, you ready to deal with this uprising? Cool. Alright, so we're going to do as we've done before. And slowly start flipping over our construction sector, starting at the top, going down to the bottom. And that will hopefully have the free market working on... We can scrap this die route. Excellent. And that will hopefully get the free market working on making the improvements that we need. So how does that affect dies? Where's dies? Here. Not bad. Not bad at all. This small trader with Benin is still productive, so I'm going to keep it. Colonization rights. Piece them out. And from the bottom, that's the main front. Popular playwright endorses reform. You know, I like prestige. We don't have any stall chance. Let's ensure the play gets a wider international audience. I don't know why Lenore's not fighting on this. Oh. Because they're led by a market liberal. Exciting. War with the dog has broken out. You know, these are not the wars that I was intending to fight this episode. I have to say, but I guess it is what it is. And can I do this now? Vineland. Already fighting in a war. Alright, cool. So that's the core problem, and it just is what it is. So we haven't seen much economic strain in terms of steel or glass or tools as a result of this changeover. So let's get a few more levels swapped over now. Frankly, it's not even eating into our national revenue, which I'm feeling pretty happy about, pretty pleased about. Okay, guys. There's 3 of you on one front and nobody on the other front. Get it together. The good word of the revolution. So, we can spread the revolution to Belgium. I'm going to do it. Because it'll make my interest groups happy. Farmers Co-op champions homesteading. Seeking to eliminate the middlemen by bringing together farmers, laborers, and shopkeepers in a cooperatively owned business, a newly formed farmers cooperative in Rhône, desiring to improve the lot of their constituent members, have used their considerable local influence to push the enactment of homesteading. Each family had come together, whether they made chairs, picked fruit, or tallied who sold what. It was agreed that the best chance of a future was to wrest control of where everything went. Fruits and furniture would stay under everyone's reach. Vegetables and vanities would be sold at a fair price, with fair splits going to who stocked the shelves. It would never be much, but nobody would go hungry either. Damn it, now they're resisting it. Alright, well, we still got a high advance chance. Peasants influencing Paris, how quaint. 10% enactment chance. Or laud their model of business as a vision for tomorrow's future. This gets us a bunch of loyalists, and there's a revolutionary movement. We'll go with the first one. Alright, so what's the situation here? 9.3% progress per step. Gosh, I thought the power of market liberalism was going to win the day over here, but apparently not. A legitimist. Of course you're a legitimist now. Why would you not be a legitimist? Alright. So we're getting progress every 8 weeks. I think we can pull this off. Fractional distillation. That gives us a stronger production method. It will produce fewer groceries but more liquor. And it'll cost more glass. Ugh, not a great time. Not a great time whatsoever. So, what are the areas? They're just going to be kind of in the northwest. Normandy, Ménanjou, Ornane-Berry, and Poitou-Saintonge. Plus a chance for Brittany. I think I can live with it. Oh boy. There's a goldfield secluded. We cannot just let them leave! I don't know what that helps with, but... Crime and divinity. The reactionary leanings of many clergymen affiliated with the Catholic Church have given rise to demands to curb the political influence of French religious organizations. I have made my opinion on this clear. All of the monasteries in Paris are not worth the life of a single French citizen. They're holy men and women, they can say what they will. Increases civil war progress, don't want that. Bolt their temples shut and arrest the clergy who resist. This will make the pops more radical. I'm going to have to do it. Because I want to slow down this revolution. Obviously, this is going to potentially create a problem for me. No. They're exactly the same place they were at before. That's great. I'm pleased about that. Family always comes first. Oh. Fiddlesticks. So I can spend some money and get increased enactment time. I can get... We've seen this event before, so I'm just going through the basics. Find the earliest signee and grant them the land. This makes the rural folk mad, reduces enactment chance. Don't want to do that. Divide the land between all three. It makes the landowners mad, reduces enactment chance. Ooh, but I don't want to get minus 15% enactment time either, because I need this to go through fast on account of the revolution happening. I'm going to piss off the rural folk. I think the rural folk are okay. They're very pleased with the current government. And I really do fancy my chances against this revolution. I've got pretty okay home affairs. So I think I might try to get fighty with Bavaria. I have Austria on my side. I'll do it. This might be a giant mistake, friends. Actually, you know what? I'm going to put a cut in here and take a little time to think it over before I go absolutely buck wild with this, having a war while I'm in the midst of fighting off my own landowners. So, we'll see what happens in the next episode. Right now, I'm still feeling like I might go buck wild with it, but I don't know. Anyway, for the moment, I've had fun. I hope you all have had fun, and I'll see you all on the other side.